Hello?
What's up, girl? What happened after Tony dumped you?
Girl, I'm over it. I went from heartbreak to hate.
Hello, Joy.
Hey, Bob.
How's it going?
It's going well. How about yourself?
That's amazing.
It's so good all
so
the
good
time.
in this fall day, and
Don't start me.
I know Joy's hating fall because it's basically summer.
Because it's not basically summer. It's definitely fucking summer. It's supposed to be 88 degrees. It's been 88 degrees multiple days in my month. October is my month.
Ooh,
I mean, I wasn't born in October, but it's still mine.
she's still trying to claim it.
That's right. So I take offense to 80 degrees and above in my month.
Okay,
Yeah.
Understandable.
Thank you.
So we're not talking about October's weather, though.
No,
We're
just
talking about costumes.
costumes.
Culturally appropriated costumes, slutty
Slutty
costumes,
costumes,
stupid
ridiculous.
costumes, costumes.
Just costumes.
Uniforms.
Oh yes.
Okay.
I've never done I've never done
Like a mechanic or something.
yeah, no, I've never done a uniformed outfit.
So what is it would be like your favorite costume you've ever worn?
So my favorite costume I ever did
That's the highlight.
I know was when I was a basic bitch.
Yes.
That was my favorite one. And I gotta say, for multiple reasons. First of all, it was fun recreating a basic bitch.
Right.
And I'm gonna go into detail in a second.
Right.
But also because I felt that it was so on point. Like some people just thought I had changed my look.
Yeah.
And didn't think I was in costume.
No.
That was the best part. Like it's kind of like a twisted compliment in a way.
Yeah. So costume rundown.
Costume rundown. So I had some crappy extensions in my hair that
You flat ironed your hair.
I flat ironed, and then so like I had some extensions that just like blonde extensions that just fully didn't match.
Right.
And of course I had my big sunglasses for no reason.
Right.
Cloudy day.
Cloudy day.
Doesn't matter. I had orange makeup to give that like overly self-tan look.
Right.
I had my Lee press-ons.
Yes.
And I had to make sure to like leave some space because
But, yeah,
that
they
didn't
go all the way to the.
didn't go all the way down. Didn't do them in a timely fashion. I kept making the duck face, the lips all the time, just pursed lips for no reason.
You had a PSL.
I did. I had
Pumpkin
a
spice
latte,
latte.
just holding it. I had my little purse on my arm, leggings,
Right.
dirty Uggs.
Dirty Uggs.
That was the best part. Was creating fake dirty Uggs at your house. Like,
Yeah.
wandering around in mud and like smearing it around. Yeah. Oh, and then I had a scarf. That's
yeah.
right.
Because that was
That was-
2013, 14.
I think it was 14. Yeah.
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 It was 14 because it was the year before I left for a little bit. So it was an amazing costume. And I was standing next to somebody that we know. And he just kind of kept looking at me. And I can't remember how I realized, oh, he thinks this is for real.
Yeah.
And I was like, so what do you think of my costume? He was like, oh, thank God. And I was like, you thought this was just my new look and you weren't going to say anything? He's like, I mean, I didn't want to judge, but.
I mean, it could have been like a really bad makeover that happened.
Right. Like the opposite of a makeover.
Right. Like a make under. Yeah.
But that's my favorite. What about you?
Well, trying to think now. One year I dressed up like a lady named Val. She's dead now. Rest in peace, Val. I worked at a full-service gas station where I pumped gas. Val had what people would call a coffee cup booty, where you could she could put your coffee cup on it. She was an older woman, and she would come in and sit all day long at the gas station that I worked at, in
As you would.
the old people section. And so we decided that we would beat each other for Halloween.
That's amazing.
So I gave her one of my uniforms to wear for Halloween, and then I dressed up like her and went outside and pumped gas in a full service, check oil,
Where are
air
the
up
pictures
tires.
of this?
I have one picture, and it's a picture of me holding my goddaughter because she was born like the month before. She was born in September. So this would have been 22 years ago.
Wow.
So yeah, so people thought I really was some old lady working out.
Did they
I had,
really?
like lime green polyester pants, a floral shirt.
So good.
horrible wig, gray wig. Yeah, people thought I was real. Because we'd gone from a time where we'd like lost people a lot, so we were hiring new people all the time. So people just thought she was some new woman working at the gas station.
That's amazing. I love that. And I will have to see the pictures later.
Yeah, I think there's one it's on Facebook somewhere. I'll have to find it.
Okay. Yes. And what about when you were a kid? Did you have a favorite costume from that time?
Well, one year was Freddy Krueger, but I don't think it's my favorite costume. Maybe it is. I really look like a shitty Freddy Krueger. It was pretty low budget because it was like it was like glove with knives was like the name of it. It wasn't like a Freddy Krueger hand.
Right.
So it was like this like brown sateen like glove with like some flat cardboard silver things sticking out of them to look like long.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think that was actually one of my last Halloweens as a kid. Yeah. And I just went to a Halloween party. I didn't go like anywhere fun, but yeah.
Oh.
So I like that one. That's pretty, because I mean, I was a horror fan then. So
Yeah.
when you're 9 years old and you're dressed like Freddy Krueger, I think that's pretty.
You're excited. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
You're all for it.
Actually, I was 10. So.
Oh, okay.
How about you?
Well, so I have an interesting past with Halloween as a kid because my mom like floated back and forth between.
Because you were a Ku Klux Klan member for Halloween?
That's exactly correct. Not because my mom would go back and forth between being super saved and not. So some years we could participate and some years we couldn't, but we always had to wear something that was like very nice. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like risque was being a nurse. So
Oh.
otherwise it would be a plastic mask. Like that was
Okay.
that was what I was allowed to do.
Nothing wrong with plastic masks, really.
Yeah, I mean there isn't, but I mean when you don't really have the whole thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's true. Just a mask and street clothes.
Just basically, I mean, there were some years that's what we did. You know what I mean?
And you know what? Some of those kids do that today. Like they do the very least possible just to go around and get candy and stuff. And that drives me absolutely crazy.
I feel like that's more of like a thing like when you're 12 or, when you're getting
not
too
supposed
old,
to
you're
be
not supposed to be
yes,
trick-or-treating and you
yeah.
just put a mask on because you just want candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that so many times.
Yeah. Speaking of Ku Klux Klan.
Okay.
I mentioned it.
You did, but I don't know why we have to mention it again.
Well, if you as a black person was wearing a Ku Klux Klan uniform, then that would be cultural appropriation. That segues into cultural appropriation costumes.
That's your segue. I got it now. Okay.
I mean, I get my segues where I can. It's not like Chicago where I can get a Segway tour.
Ooh, let's see what you did there.
Yeah, yeah. So, cultural appropriation costumes. Have you done whiteface before?
I have not done whiteface
Have you done Native American?
I have not done Native American.
Have you done any form of Asian?
No. No.
No Indian, South Asian technically now.
Nope.
What other ones are culturally appropriated?
I just feel like most common is the Native
American. I think it's the American.
Or if you're like a white girl, apparently dressing up in blackface as a rapper is like
a thing.
It's like a thing.
Yeah.
And like it's happened multiple times and people not really learning the lesson.
It's like, yeah, what are you going for, chick?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's weird to me. I guess, yeah. I mean, I've seen all that in costume stores because we have a full year-round costume store here in town, and other than Party City. But yeah, so I've seen like the gold fronts, teeth fronts, the large chunky chains,
Don't get me started.
which I love from an 80s perspective, but I don't feel like.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just trying to dress up, you know what I mean, like in your own skin and whatnot, as an 80s person, that's more the decade. It's more of the culture. Like, that's to me different. It's like, the reason I have such a problem with the Native American outfits is that they usually aren't even, like, it's the idea of it's a stereotype, right?
Absolutely.
For one, it's like all of the ridiculous fake turquoise and
The
headdresses for
tan.
some reason that, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, the
aren't,
buckskin out, like the buckskin
and then it
dress.
just goes into this like mystical type sci-fi world where bitches are just doing this weird ass makeup that nobody wears.
Oh,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
like the weird Aborigine makeup
It's
that
like-
really was only like Irish, and some like
Yeah.
the face painting that's really not Native American.
It's like so it turns into like this weird hodgepodge idea. That
So
people
you're
do.
saying it's an American costume?
I guess that's what I'm saying, but just in poor taste.
Yeah, since we're all mutts here, we really don't have a good lock on keeping in your own lane when it comes to cultural appropriation.
No, and maybe that's what people should do. Maybe you should like get your ancestry results.
Okay.
Send away. Get the papers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then dress however you want. Put all your
So I can be
background
French
together.
for
you
Halloween?
can be French and German.
Sweet.
But you just make sure you attach those results to you so people can see you're not
Oh.
appropriating. You're just honoring your ancestry.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, I guess I'm 0.003 Native American.
Wow. I would leave that
So,
off if I were you.
huh?
I would leave that off if I were you at the point.
So does that mean I can have like one feather hanging from my ear?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. I'm just checking because asking for a friend. I don't feel that I'm gonna be culturally appropriating anybody for Halloween.
No, of course not. Are you going to do anything this year?
I don't know. It's on a Wednesday.
I know.
I have to go to something on the weekend out of town, so I won't be here for all like the normal festivities because it's either the weekend before or the weekend after here. We always celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
Some bars do before, some bars do after. I know one of my friends DJing on Halloween, so I might go to that. But I don't know. Did I even dress up last year? I don't feel that I did. You weren't here,
I wasn't here,
did I?
but I definitely didn't dress up.
Oh no, I went to a Halloween wedding
Oh, okay.
reception, and I was Jeffrey Dahmer.
Were you really Jeffrey Dahmer, or were you just that in your heart?
No, I just I already have the glasses that look like Jeffrey Dahmer's glasses, and I had that length of hair, and I just had like a jean shirt on
Okay.
and khaki pants, and
So kind of doing the least.
I think I was trying to do something else, and then I ended up just getting one of those name tags that says, "Hello, my name is Jeffrey Dahmer." Doing the absolute least, yes. I don't know. I don't like going to things like weddings for Halloween.
No. And did they have a Halloween theme?
It was couples, which is even worse because I was by myself.
Oh.
So me and my goddaughter, who I mentioned earlier, and she was 21, we were serial killers. So she just like threw some blood on her shirt, grabbed a knife, and we were serial killers. So
That is Halloween on a budget. I love it.
yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody wanted to be there, but like people were Cleopatra and whatever, and so yeah. This year, I don't know. What about you? Are you gonna Halloween it up this year?
Oh, well, I would like to. I feel like you just dropped a bomb on me saying you're not going to be here for it, but because
The weekend before, I mean, only was Saturday, but maybe like Friday.
okay. I mean, I think we really owe
I think
it to the world.
you're going out of town a couple times this month, so I think I think it's okay if I go out of town once this month.
Wow. Okay, that felt like that went to a personal place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really going on the holiday weekend, but that's fine. If we need to do some therapy about this later,
No,
we
it's
can.
fine.
Clearly.
Clearly. So you don't know if you're gonna dress up?
Well, I would like to, but here's the thing: if I don't have something to go to specifically or something to do, then I won't. I could always just kind of like recreate my one year when we were going out to C Street. I just kind of like really did my fro up really good, and I had like almost like a cheetah shirt on,
Oh.
and I basically said that I was like a low rent version of Shaka Khan.
Nice. So you were culturally appropriating other black people.
I was the light skinned Shaka Khan, if you will.
Okay.
Thank you. So is it really like appropriating if you're just, because everybody picks somebody famous at some point to do an outfit, because I feel like there's only so many ideas.
Right. I mean,
now.
because technically, when I was Freddy Krueger, I would have actually been making fun of burn victims. Right?
Only you would think of it that way, but
No,
yes.
not only me. I'm sure if I did that today and like made the burn makeup myself, that I'm sure somebody on the street would be really offended because their uncle from whatever family down in Alabama has burns on them.
And completely disregarding the fact that it's a character.
Right.
A famous character.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's the climate we're in, but yeah. So were you a slutty Shaka Khan or were you just a normal Shaka Khan?
I was just normal. I mean, I got to be honest. I thought
Was it Shaka Khan or Shaka Wrong?
it was Shaka Wrong. Me doing it. I mean, I didn't know any better. Bless my heart. I was young. But I do feel that I would love to do like a slutty costume, but like one that you wouldn't expect. Is there like a slutty? Is there something that you can't make into a slutty costume? I think that's the question.
I mean, if you want to be like a building. I'm a slutty mid-century modern ranch home.
You have some red lights on and people would be like, you slut.
I think we should post and pop in here and say, we can have somebody else say it for us, but there's nobody else in the room other than my dog. So I will say this. We love sluts. So we're not slut shaming at all.
No, we are very slut positive here.
So we don't, it's just the slut-ting of things is some necessary.
It's because it's overdone. It's
Yeah.
so overdone, and it gets to ridiculous levels. So that's why I asked the
Like
question.
slutty Elmo.
Like, that's why I asked. And you, what did you say? You said you can't do a slutty.
You can't do a slutty Violet from Willy Wonka and the
Willy
Chocolate
Wonka,
Factory.
Yeah.
So basically anything that's has a large mass, but then we discussed slutty elephant.
Exactly. I don't know how you do a slutty elephant because
You just put a trunk on.
Oh, and then just like half of the clothes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where this started. Like, I want to know the history of slut costumes. Slutty versions of costumes, more so.
I don't know. Do you think it came from actual prostitutes? People were just like, hey, I'm going to dress as one of those one year. And then...
I mean, it could, but you can get like prostitute clothing at these pop-up Halloween stores. They have all the gear. They got the fishnet stockings. They got the fingerless fishnet gloves and neon.
I hope that prostitutes have moved past.
Remind me to get some of those gloves this year, just for myself in normal days.
Okay, just for normal days.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Note to self, I'm writing it down now.
Thanks. I don't see you writing. Anyway, so what's the worst slutty outfit you've ever seen that you can think of?
Ooh.
Or what would push the limits of slutty outfit? I mean, there's obviously slutty Native American, which I feel is a little bit much.
I don't know. I was just going to say pushing the limits now that you just mentioned it. If somebody was to try to do a slutty burn victim, now that would be going over.
No, they have a slutty Freddy Krueger.
Okay. I'm sure that's the thing. I don't know, because a lot of these I see through pictures, not in real life.
Oh.
So that's the thing. I was kind of trying to think, have I seen anything so crazy?
So do you want to go hang out on sorority houses?
No, not even a little bit, because I want to live a little
Let's
bit
go
longer.
to campus for Halloween.
I would rather dig my own heart out with a spoon.
Oh, that's, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I don't, the limits.
There are no limits. That's the whole point. You could be a slutty fireman. You could be slutty.
So then what you're saying in math, that there's technically a slut infinity.
There's slut infinity. That is correct.
Oh, wow. Not even just slut to the third power.
Because like I said, even if you were trying to be a house, right, you could still be a slutty house.
That's true.
I bet you'll find a way. Give a bitch a dare and she will find a way.
But would you technically call it a bush or would you call it a shrub?
Ooh, you have to call it a bush. Come on now. Let's not be amateurish about this.
Right.
So what are some of your favorite costumes that you've seen other people wear?
One time I was driving down the street on Halloween.
Okay.
Because I've only ever driven once on Halloween. No, I was driving to work and I pulled up to a stoplight and I looked over and I saw a girl. This was probably 95, 96, dressed up like Pinhead from Hellraiser. And it was full on amazing. I mean, that would have been before like people were really into prosthetics and things like that. As far as makeup obviously was not big in the 90s. We've all seen people in the 90s. So like, you know, the makeup skills that the kids have today is definitely was not there. So I was just amazed how she looked in that Pinhead costume.
Wow.
On the flip side of that, this girl I know, Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer. No, you're not listening. But she wore like just a blue Hanes sweatshirt top and sweatshirt pants. And she glued cotton balls all over her to make herself look like clouds.
Okay.
So she made herself look like the sky. And she carried a water gun, a little water gun, and she'd spray people, and she was cloudy with a chance of rain.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I thought that's one of the best costumes,
Yeah.
and I beat her in the costume contest because I was Courtney Love. But anyway, sorry about it. You came in second, I think. But I thought that was an amazingly, I mean, this was like 2001, 2002, so it was like, I didn't feel people that were that creative.
Yeah.
And a literal creation, you know. How about you?
One of the ones, I mean, it's so silly. It's so ridiculous, but, and I actually later on saw a bunch of people did it, but my friend, like, just had a gray dress on, and it was, like, the first year that the 50 Shades of Grey books were a thing.
Yeah.
And then she just had a bunch of paint swatches all over her, and so she was 50
Shades of Grey.
Yeah. It was kind of silly.
It's silly, but that's good.
You
It's
know?
kind of like the serial killer one where people, like, put, like, a box of Rice Krispies
Yes. I mean, I
and,
kind
like,
of
stab it.
Yeah, I just kind of like, I really like the goofy ones like that, where like they take something, you know what I mean, and like twist it on its head. So I just think that's kind of more fun. I don't know, it's funny and a lot easier than
Yeah.
just grabbing a bucket of blood and a shirt. And then another one, like you said before, people were really into prosthetics and stuff. Somebody like made themselves a full-on octopus. Like, you know, their arms were two of the tentacles, and then they like had extra ones and had kind of strung it together so they could kind of move it as a system.
Yeah.
And I feel like anytime you're going to go full out,
Anytime you're rigging something up, yes.
you're like out here really doing a lot. Respect to people that have the time to like work on an outfit for like a month, 2 months.
And then
this
to like
one
commit,
day.
especially in like that, when you'd have to worry about logistics of getting through doors
Yes.
and things like that. So, yeah. So what do you think will be like popular costumes this year?
It's got to be all the superheroes, right? There's going to be 50,000 million Black Panthers.
So wait. Let me rewind it. Would being a white man in an all Black Panther costume, because you're covered up,
Right.
would that be cultural appropriation?
Because
I know lots of people who dress up like Black Superman and Black Spider-Man, which there
Right.
are Black Spider-Mans.
I think the problem becomes when you have to put the black face on, right? So if you're just wearing a costume,
It's okay.
it's okay because you're just picking a superhero from a movie.
So if I was a white person and I was like, say, wearing a buckwheat costume.
I don't know if people would know what you were.
Well, I know
You just-
people would know what I was. They think I'm like a poor Al Sharpton or something like that. And some people wouldn't even know that at this point in life.
Not know Al Sharpton. Oh shit! Please do dress up as buckwheat for my heart.
I would just get yelled at because people are like, you could be Spanky. You have Spanky because, you know, he was the fat kid. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, for sure, you're gonna see.
All the superheroes.
All
'cause
the
Marvel
superheroes.
was all big this year.
You know what I mean? You're gonna see a million Wonder Women.
Yeah, and like
probably.
it, like will be back this year since
Yeah.
they came out last year.
It will be back. What else is big? I don't know. And then, but I'm sure there will be political outfits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know what form they'll take. So I will be intrigued to see what some of the
Like-
some of the woke people will come up with.
Like a dead Donald Trump or something?
Like a dead Donald Trump, or like some kind of statement about feminism today, but I don't know how. You know what I'm saying? Like, I personally haven't thought of it, but I know that'll have to be. You'll have to find outfits that'll be like that.
Yeah. Like a giant tampon with a razor blade in the top.
Okay.
That'd be a good symbolism for feminism. Symbol for feminism, maybe.
Maybe so. You really went to a special place with that.
I was trying to think outside of the box.
You
Get
did. Yeah. I got you.
Back in the day, they used to refer to vaginas as boxes, children.
Anytime you have to explain that,
Yeah.
we know we're old.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know. Is there anything sexy this year that would just be like a sexy Donald Trump?
No. This is a PSA. I say to that idea, no. Absolutely not.
I wonder if there is one.
Oh. I'm sure somebody will be, right? Because
I think there's going to be a lot of like politician type stuff this year. I don't know.
But are there any politicians that you'd really want to dress up as?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yes, you're right. There will be a million of those this year.
Yeah.
I promise there will be.
Because she had they had that documentary
movie.
about her.
And because everybody's really just like, anytime people are just openly praying for you to live.
Right. And there was that Mr. Rogers documentary too that was pretty popular this year. So maybe the people will be Mr. Rogers this year.
That would be cool.
That'd be really nice. So no Bill Cosby's though.
No Bill Cosby's.
Huh.
Not unless you're like Bill Cosby in a prison uniform.
You know what? That would be a great opportunity for a white and black striped sweater.
Yes.
And then have like some Jell-O pops in your pocket with some pills in them.
This is so horrible.
Yeah. I don't know. It could be fun.
It could.
But I wouldn't do it. No.
I think we should come up with some like awesome joint costume. How do you feel about couples costumes? You know what I mean? Where two people like it's
I
it's a
thought you were gonna dress up
idea.
like a joint, like
No.
a marijuana cigarette.
No, that'll be next year.
Okay.
Yeah, how do you feel about two-person costumes?
Well, I tell you what, there it is. I forgot this one. So, my friends used to have Halloween parties every year, and they stopped having them. But one year, there was a couple, and they were dressed up like Jack Nicholson from The Shining and the little boy from The Shining, and the female of the couple was the little boy. And she had it rigged up that when she sat down, like her backpack she had on, like came down and it looked like the wheel thing the little big wheel that he would ride in the hallways. And I thought that was pretty amazing.
That is.
Yeah.
There are people who can just do the most.
I mean, they try. I guess if you try, there's that 3-letter word that some people use, and work on it, that 4-letter word that some people use too. And then there's effort.
Ooh.
So there's trying and working and effort.
Yeah.
So wet. Work, effort, try.
Wow. Wet it up. But
Wet it up.
also, there's the money of it all.
That's true. I mean, but you can make honestly though, for Halloween one year, it was like the most hilarious costume I ever was, and I literally like cried when I made it, and me and my friend Amy dressed up as them. We just took like white sheets. This is not going to a KKK section. We were just gonna be ghosts, but we went and bought fake butts.
Okay.
And put on the back of us, and we were ghost buttsters.
God. Oh, wow.
And we literally almost pissed ourselves when we first put the costumes on. And I have a video of that too, and it's just like hilarious to us. And then we got to the party we were going to, and we immediately like cut the heads off because we couldn't breathe under the sheets. So it didn't last very long. But
wow.
So yeah, I hope everyone out there like picks amazing costumes this year.
Yeah, I feel inspired to really try this year.
You're gonna try.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna work.
And you're gonna do
and
effort.
I'm gonna do some effort.
Okay. Joy's gonna wet it up this year. I guess we'll find out in November when we go discuss cultural appropriation in November for Tea Day. So, all right, cool. I hope you get lots of candy this year, Joy.
You too.
I hope we get razor blades.
Oh, God.
And remember that to be beautiful and natural is the birthright of every woman. And I wish you all loads and loads of loveliness and good luck.